Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Blunders and Bothwellians, the Wounded Witch edition. This is the Sunday party, back again, the adventuring associates, because they are not friends. I repeat, not friends, apparently. They are currently in Amley, the country of the gnomes and dwarves, and they are in the capital where Arissa's family have given her a surprise that her brother is to be getting married to the Prince of Amley. Very exciting occasion, which means all of the gnomes in the city are preparing for the wedding with a festival that's going to last several days. It's all going very exciting. Some of the party have taken part in some eagle racing. They have had some fun shopping trips, and they have had some interesting discoveries to do with Indy's cursed armour. So yeah, sort of fun there. So today finds them enjoying the festivities and potentially looking for some sort of cleric who could maybe help to remove Indy's cursed armour. We shall see. So, you're welcome back to the Sunday party, and we shall jump in. So, where they at?
Very likely that.
Hey guys!
Hello.
Very likely. Uh-oh. So.
No, the fact that she'll be a lady. Very likely.
Okay. Oh yes, Ariel is a lady. He rolled for it. He is going to be a lady for 10 months. 10 months, isn't it? Unless you can find someone to remove the spell.
A card, but like birthday card.
Oh.
For the birthday, I got additional cards for the deck of many things that I could specifically pull from the birthday cards, and one of them turned Ariel into a lady. The other one made her believe that she's a deity.
Thankfully, that one didn't last very long. Oh, actually, it got replaced, didn't it? It got replaced by severe madness.
Yep, that was fun.
Thankfully, that too is also not existing anymore. So, welcome guys. You currently find yourselves down a side alley beside the pub, which is Old Mick's Tavern, I believe. Got it written down somewhere. Yep, Old Mick's Tavern, there we go. So you guys are currently down a side alley. Kess has heard the commotion while she was walking through the city, accompanied by her zombie who, sorry, those of you who tried to pay off the guards, is still in existence. So Kess, you wander down the side alley and you see Indy has turned into a very angry redhead, and the rest of the party gathered around looking a little concerned.
Oh. Well, what happened here? Well, I was busy with my own important business.
Hello.
Hello.
So
Squishlings.
we went eagle racing, and then I bought a dress for wedding, and then Indy.
So nothing useful.
We won eagle racing. We won. We're famous now.
Did you win a prize?
Fame. We're famous now.
That's worthless. Right, anyway, what happened to... They're usually not redheads, Squishling.
Well,
that's correct. We actually don't know. That's kind of a recent development.
Yeah. Her armor is probably evil, though.
Well, that's a
Definitely
good thing, isn't it?
Horribly evil.
Well, not so much the good evil, but more the bad evil. The one where it's evil to us.
How is there bad evil?
Well, it's the one where it hurt her. Or...
My question is, how is there good evil? There's evil and there's...
Do you want me to explain the uses of some little bits of evil?
No, because I really don't care. The point is, the armor is definitely cursed. Maybe it's going to be damaging to us, but we don't.
Well, it made Indy scared, and then she hurt us.
Okay, that sounds not very useful armor then.
Well, Indy, did it protect you when someone tried to stab you? Indy. And he's gonna
Well.
start poking her shoulder.
No one's tried to stab me in it yet.
Okay, we can solve that. And I pull out my scimitar.
Oh, okay, this is escalating quickly.
Are you gonna let the pixie try to stab you, or are you gonna resist the attack?
No, he's gonna immediately use Toll the Dead cantrip.
Oh god.
What does that do?
So
Please, Indy, just describe your chaos.
make a wisdom saving throw.
Wait a second. Everybody went Terminator there for a second.
Yeah, it went a bit clangy.
So the pixie will need to make a wisdom saving throw.
That requires a d20. Why have I not prepared my d20s? The green one, that always rolls. Ah, it rolls high. Constitution, you said, right?
Yep.
Let me quickly check on my character sheet what that does. Plus 2. 18.
What's the DC save? Spell save was 18, so I think you just
Rosie, how does
Yes.
a tie work for spell save DC?
Oh! Both of you roll me a d20. Whoever gets the highest number, you either save or get hit. What'd you get?
Indy got a 9.
I got a 9.
Oh, fair.
I was like, he's definitely rolling higher than a 9. That's why I was laughing. But
Roll again, then.
Alright, yeah, roll again. Otherwise, I'm gonna heads or tails it.
Glenn, you win. I rolled a 1.
Yeah, 14 that time.
Yeah. Alright, so for a second, you both sort of blink, and then the cantrip does take effect on the pixie.
Alright, I'm presuming you're not at full hit points.
I'm 1 below it.
That'll be 1d12 damage then.
Oof.
Ow!
Oof. Really trying to help. Indy's a little bit mad right now.
So, that plus...
Ooh.
Shit, there's maths involved in this damage.
No, it's just 1d12 necrotic damage.
Okay. In that case, roll the one with the 12 sides.
Yep. So that would be 8.
Ow. To be fair, Lady Errol will probably respond with, "Ow, I was just trying to help, but don't be upset. We'll find you a good cleric, an actual cleric, to solve your armor issues."
I'm just gonna start laughing.
An unearthly dungeon master voice joins you in your laughter.
Okay, look, maybe there is something in the book about this armor. if it's related at all. I will check for you, because I'm kind enough to care.
Oh, okay.
Well noted. And next time, Pixie, don't threaten to stab me.
It wasn't threatening, it was trying to help. I mean, it
You
was
clearly
just...
didn't help.
Stabbing someone
just
only helps them to the
sadistic.
grave.
No,
Cass, do an investigation check on the book with advantage.
This was to see if the armor actually does anything positive besides hurting you and making you dream bad.
Phew. That's lucky that it was with advantage, because my first roll was terrible. Sorry. Yeah. So 18.
18. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Alright. This armor is called The Demise of Demons.
Ooh, that sounds good.
When you start to read it, the name sounds good. Oh, Timo, could you type for me? I've got super glue.
Oh yeah, of course.
So the armour is called the Demise of Demons.
Yes.
However, Kess, as you continue to read, this armour does not sound as though it was made to attack demons. The more damage the wearer takes while wearing this armour, the closer they get to being cursed permanently.
Okay, what is the curse?
From what you can gather, once the armour has taken in enough of its wearer's blood, it will transfigure the blood in the wearer, and they will start turning into a demon.
Oh, so it turns you into a demon.
Does
not bad.
Cass say that aloud, or just quietly to herself?
Yeah, I think she's humming, reading the book, and being like, so it turns you into a demon. That's not that bad.
Indy's just gonna glare daggers at Kess and go, well, would you like to try to wear this thing?
We'd have to get it off of you first, then.
That is true. I have my armor already, thank you.
Well, you're more than welcome to this one as soon as we can get it off me.
Well, I was kind enough to look it up for you. So maybe you should be thanking me instead of being angry.
I'll only thank the person that gets this damn thing off me.
Is there anything in the book about how to remove it?
The book seems to glorify the fact that you wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I guess Cass is like,
It does.
Good luck then.
It does reference holy goodness being something that would take effect against it, but it doesn't go into great
Right.
detail, as it seems to think, well, like, duh, you'd want to, right?
Yeah. So Cass is like, it seems like you would have to do some very unpleasant things to get it off.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Would you like to define unpleasant?
Not anything I would ever want to do.
It's probably hugging someone.
It sounds blasphemous if you are a true follower of Irfel. I'm sure if we pray to her, though, she could strike it off you. But why not just enjoy it? What's the problem with becoming, stronger this way? Getting a bit of demonic blood in you.
There's being me, and there is being made something else, and quite frankly, I'd rather be me.
But you will be made stronger by it, right? Rosie, is that what it says in the book? That you will be stronger if you become a demon? Or
Just that she'll turn into a demon. But it does seem to say that that's something you would want, so take from that what you will.
You'll be much stronger than you are currently. So why resist it?
Ariel! What did you just write in chat?
Urfel's just gonna look at you, Kess, and go,
Wait, Urfel?
Sorry.
Indy, not Urfel.
sorry, I was reading something further, but Indy looks at Kess and goes, well, you better pray to Urfel that if and when I turn, that I still consider you a friend.
Well, I told you what I knew about this armor, and you know a lot more now than you knew minutes ago. So, I'm your friend. We serve the same god. We have the same goals. So why not fight together with me?
As I said, whatever you've read hasn't said whether I will remain a friend if I turn.
Well, I'm sure I can get along with the demon you.
How many demons
Yeah.
have you already been friends with?
They seem a
And
lot more reasonable than a lot of these squishlings around.
well, apparently only when they're dead. And she's gonna gesture towards the zombie one behind you.
Well, then I can solve the problem if you don't get along with me, right?
We shall see.
Yeah. As I said, I'm sure if you pray, Irfel will show you the right way.
I'd like to point out I've already damn well tried that. This armor's already resisted Urfel's magics.
But you're still able to cast, right?
Not quite simply what should be a simple spell to remove the curse. No. This armor is affecting that.
Still, I wouldn't recommend to do what it says to remove it. It sounds like something you would regret doing. That's the thing.
Well, you haven't even told me what the damn book said. Just that it seems that you're hell-bent on having a demon following you around, whether it's a friend or a foe.
I'm sure we can be friends. But right, why not take it in to another temple then? See if there are any other clerics.
Ooh, maybe there's an actual cleric for the real god.
What do you mean? Urfel is a real god. You know what? We can just try to contact her. I'm sure she will answer us. Why wouldn't we pray together? Or there's this chain as well. Yeah, haven't tried to contact her followers recently.
Well, if you think it will make any difference asking for a second time.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure that your belief just wasn't quite strong enough at the time when you asked. And if you had my help at the same time, I'm sure together we can reach our foe.
I'll consider it.
Shall I ask my goddess too, so that an actual
No, we
deity looks
don't
into
want
it?
fake gods and useless gods dealing with this.
Well, mine has actually brought me back from the dead. What has yours done for you recently?
She's given us a lot of power and information. Without her, we would have never been able to survive our journey in the Underrealm. What was it called? The place with the bees. And Urfel has given us boons as well, haven't she? She's given you power as well. If you call on her name, you have a lot more power. You shall, don't you? Wasn't that useful? Wasn't that more useful than you have received from other gods?
It was more useful than any other gods besides mine. So
You're
far,
not a
right?
true believer yet, but you have seen her might. Urfel can accomplish a great many things.
She looked very damn mortal to.
You have not seen Urfel. Have you seen Urfel out of character?
Yes. Yes.
But wasn't it in a vision?
No, back in the capital.
Oh yeah,
she
technically
look
you all
more
did.
Technically, all of us saw her there. She looked like a normal lady. She didn't look all powerful. She looked like a normal lady. I mean, she was Urfel, all right, with all of her Urfel powers, but she looked like a lady, like a normal lady. She didn't have her own body, though.
Well, Urfel just needed this shard to be complete that we have now, so we should hurry and deliver it, right? Like, out of character, I can't remember, Rosie. There was... Can you remind us?
Yes, that is the ultimate goal, to get it back to the capital in Trevice. However, you have no way of getting there at the moment, hence you are waiting for the festival to be over so you can get on a ship.
Yeah, but basically, she will be complete once we get this shard to her, or is she already complete? Is she already
She's
a
got
god?
a vessel, so hopefully the vessel will hold and she'll be able to
Yes.
have all of her powers. If you bring her this, then she will give all of you powers to thank you, because this somehow is related to her managing to stay in her deity status. You're not quite sure how yet.
Okay, so she will regain her full deity status once she gets the shard back. Or
So
not?
you believe, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, then Cass will remind them. So do you not remember that she was cruelly stripped of her full powers, and then we now have the shard to complete her again?
Yeah.
And then we will be richly rewarded once we accomplish that. But right, if that armor bothers you so much...
Well, last
You
time
know,
I
if-
checked, your armor wasn't meant to try and kill you.
It's not killing you, it's making you stronger. But if you don't want to get stronger, why don't you just think about what are the things that demons hate? Because if it's a demonic artifact,
Ooh, was it garlic?
maybe
Oh no, wait, that was vampire.
these are vampires, you idiot. No, think about this. What things do demons abhor?
Oh, it's nice things.
Yes, exactly, terrible things.
Maybe to the tailor and get you a pink ribbon.
Or you could go to one of these nice gods, they call them, right? Terrible people. The ones that demons hate. You know, the ones that banish demons and things like that. I'm sure they can handle helping you with a demonic artifact. But you know, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even know it was a demonic artifact.
Well, I'll be sure to leave it for you to collect. Gone.
Well, am I supposed to now solve your problems for you? I just helped you. But since I'm feeling generous anyway, how about I go with you to one of these temples of goodness?
She says with scorn.
I mean, the sarcasm was just dripping from her.
Ariel, were you offering this, or are you reaching out to your deity to?
This was me offering it to Kess and Indy.
Let me just see because I.
And just who is your goddess, Pixie?
Lady Earthar Valias. She's the mighty pixie goddess. She's saved me from death and prevents unfair death for pixies.
Lady what?
Earthar Valias.
You can spell it if you want.
I am on it right now. I just was quickly looking up how it's spelled. I believe it was along those lines. But with a capital I, of course, because... Well,
okay, look, Pixie. We are looking for one of these gods who are regarded in the realms as the ones banishing demons and undead and
aren't most gods doing that kind of stuff?
The proper gods are not, obviously.
Kess is going to get a sideways glance from Indy going, you are aware Urfel even does that for me, right?
Why would you want to banish them?
Because we're not the only ones that can raise them. Kinda makes it useful to have weapons to use against your enemies, correct?
Right, whatever. I'm sure we can find one of these gods of sunshine or... Okay, how about we don't go for sunshine? Just...
Shall we find a god
peace,
of glitter?
hope? Rainbows. Let's find a god of rainbows.
Maybe there's a god of the edge. Would you like that, Kess? A god of the edge?
Sounds a lot better than a god of rainbows, but I think we need a god of rainbows and unicorns right now.
Isn't the god of edge just called My Chemical Romance?
Yes.
I'm kidding. I love that band, but it's true.
It is very true. I mean,
It's
I
true.
don't love that band, so I will have to say it's even more true.
Belgarath, go back to level 3!
I will not. I will not be punished for speaking the truth.
It's fine. It's fine.
Look, I'm sorry. I never had an emo phase, thus I never got into My Chemical Romance. Okay.
that explains a lot.
That does explain a lot.
Maybe you should start an email phase.
You should start. You should really start.
I would rather
It's,
jump
it's
out
never
of
too
the-
late to dream. It's never too late. We can grow your fringe out, man. We can do it.
I would honestly rather kill myself.
Well, that's perfect. That's what all the emos want as
That
well.
doesn't sound very...
You're so
To be
good.
honest, it doesn't sound
Shit. I
very
walked into
honest.
that one.
I always feel like you set me up for that one, so thank you for that.
Okay, I would rather have a lovely day in the park with my dog. That's what I'd rather do. I would rather enjoy life. That's what I'd rather.
To all of our millions and millions of viewers out there, we are at no way are we suggesting that emos cannot enjoy walks in the park with their dogs. Just to clarify.
Hey, Rosie, don't you enjoy walks in the park with your dog?
I do.
Done.
Yeah, but you're not an emo.
I'm not as crazy
Fair.
emo as I could have been. No, I'm a little too mad for that. I'm too cheerful. I'm far too chipper about things. It's terrible.
One of my
And
favourite episodes of South Park was where they basically pointed out that emos and goths are fundamentally the same thing, and it was hilarious.
Yep.
emos are wannabe goths who just are more emotional. And I'm not going to get into that debate again, because that's high school all over again. So...
We all know the ladder, yes. Emos are wannabe goths and sane kids are wannabe emos. Let's
Yes.
carry on, shall we?
Thank you. Just to clarify, this lesson that you have now learned, that you didn't know you were going to learn when you listened to this, my dear viewer. Sad dance. So yeah,
Oh
what?
God, see, sorry, I have to derail the game one more time.
Okay, do it.
Did any of you play the South Park game, Stick of Truth?
Yes.
I watched it.
Yeah, so you know that bit where you hang out with the goth kids and you have to become a goth and you have to do that like goth dance party thing?
Oh.
Oh yes.
Well, my game kind of crashed at that bit and the dance bit never got started, and it took me like 5 minutes to realise that the game had crashed because I thought that the joke was that goth dancing was just like standing there and bobbing your head.
I mean, it's very South Park. It's very true.
That could have very well been true as well.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
completely
that's
understand.
what made me laugh after I realised it was like. It took me nearly 10 minutes to realise, hang on, no, the game has actually crashed. I thought no, this is just a joke. This is just having a dig at how goths dance.
It got a serious case of the SADs, and the game disc just went no. Well, you can all go and do some happy dancing at the festival. That'll make everything better. Or sad. Kes can do sad dancing. Kes can bob her head.
No dancing for Cass.
No, that would just be silly.
That's very undignified.
So
It
yeah.
can never be undignified.
What would you guys like to do? You have a festival going on around you, but by all means ignore it. That's fine. You can look for clerics. You can look for garlic. Whatever it is you would like to do. There were many options that came out of that conversation. I can't list them all.
No, I think we're going to look for a temple of rainbows and love.
Okay.
Peace or whatever.
All right. Temple of Rainbows and Love coming up.
It doesn't have to be literal, but I'm sure it will be now.
I love how Kes is the one requesting that. Like, let's just take a moment appreciating that Kes was the one asking that.
Yep. It may never happen again,
To be
so...
honest, it's what she suggested if Urfel wanted... No, if Indy wanted help so much.
So who would like to search for a temple? You can search individually, or you can help one person. You can give them aid. What would you like to do?
Cass is bringing her zombie.
That's
Just
that.
saying.
I assumed Cass is bringing her zombie.
I'm bringing my onyx. Let's just call it my onyx for now.
All right. Who has
Until it
stats now?
does appear.
Yes. Because the DM remembered. Yeah.
Oh, and Rosie, Cass disguises herself as an Aasimar.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like this.
It doesn't make you stand out any less amongst all of these gnomes, but
No, but that should work in a temple of love and whatever.
sure. I mean, it's not like people in temples have a way to detect good and evil or anything.
Or magic at all.
Nah.
So whoever would like to search for a temple,
Cass is not
do
clever.
do a perception check to look for temples as you guys start wandering and having a look.
If I feel like I should follow them just for... It will be fucking funny to see Kes and
Yeah.
happy
Yeah,
faces.
you can all go. Are you all gonna accompany on this mission of chaos?
So Indy did 26 perception there.
All right.
Should I roll as well?
You can if you want. You could all find various different temples, and you could have options.
So, I helped. I rolled a nat 1, which plus 9 makes 10 total.
Oh,
Alright.
Sorry, what are we rolling? Investigation?
Just perception to have a look for temples, because being taller, you can sort of see
Okay.
across everyone.
Okay. I rolled a 17.
All right. Okay. Okay, Ariel, as you're looking around, you spot a really nice ball. It's shiny, and it's red, and it bounces. It's bigger than you are, but it's in the hand of a small gnome child who's throwing it back and forth to his friend. You get distracted by this ball for a while as you are staring around, and then you realise, what was I looking for? And then you hear, how are you so quick on the gifts? Good God! And then Kess and Indy, you two look around and you spot 3 temples. They all look fairly, for want of a better word, I'm going to say pleasant and clean.
Unpleasant, you mean, for Claire?
Yeah, highly unpleasant for Kess. One of them, it has a glittering star above the door. Another one has the sign of a weeping willow tree above the door, and the other one has what looks like rocks and stone above the door. An image of rocks and stone, not actual rocks.
Yeah, I think Cass wants to go to the least shiny one.
So you're trying to find the least good that's still passable as good.
Just least shiny because Cass is bothered by bright light.
Alright, so yeah, you spot those 3. You point them out.
And she puts on her goggles to filter out sunlight at least.
Oh yeah, Kess puts on her sunglasses to filter out the sunlight. So yeah, you got 3 temples you can see. You've got the glittery star one, the willow tree, and the rocks and earth. Which one would you like to go for? We know Kess is not voting for the sparkly one.
I'd vote for the
Cass is
sparkly
actively
one.
against. It's not your armor, Pixie.
I know, I'm just helping Indy make the choice.
You're not helping.
Indy's gonna ignore the 2 of them and walk straight up towards the one that's got the what was it, the tree and leaves on it.
The willow
Oh,
tree?
weeping willow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright. So you head down the street and curve around a corner.
This.
Kess like, well, this is okay, it's a middle ground.
Yeah.
This one is built out of stone and rock that has been carved to look like trees, like intertwining around each other. All the columns out the front, there's a big willow tree. Even the ornate wooden doors themselves, when they open up, they've got like a huge tree carved into the front of them. And as you open it up, the tree continues round to the back of the doors. It's open. You can hear sort of voices, music inside. So, are you going in?
Knock, knock.
Yes, I think we are going in. Cass is not going in first.
Can I knock on the door?
You can do. Do me a strength check.
Okay.
I have a feeling that if I roll high, I actively play into the door. It's an 18 total.
Okay, well, you actually managed to make a knock that is, heard by someone because you're a very tiny pixie.
I'm going to be catching my breath for a while.
So the doors are open.
Again with the gifts.
Yeah, on point with those gifts tonight, man. Jeez. The doors are open. You knock, and you hear some voice from inside say, "It's open. You can come in."
Can I open the door if I push it? Like, am I strong enough to open the door?
Do another strength check, Ariel.
6 total.
No, they are very large wooden doors.
Indy's gonna just wait until the pixie's sort of like pushing as hard as she can, and then she's gonna shove the door open.
Alright.
I'm gonna fly through the door then, I guess. If the door gets opened as I push.
Yeah, the door is fairly easy to open for anyone who is not pixie sized. So yeah, you shove the 2 double doors open and you step in. It's a very tall for gnomes, but still only just tall enough for you guys, except for the pixie, to stand in comfortably. It's fairly simple. There's lots of wooden benches. There are windows which are engraved, and they have like patterns and trees built into them, and it's quite echoey. There's a choir practicing in one corner. And there's a few people sitting, chatting, praying. There's some kids running about, and there's a few clerics who seem to be moving between everybody. They're wearing sort of dark green robes, and they've all got the symbol of the tree emblazoned upon their front and their back.
Wow.
Does Indy recognize who these clerics would be? Or which god they serve?
Do a religion check.
I think Cass is just like, so do any of you serve a god of peace and love? Are we in the right place?
Do you want to ask one of the gnomes if they serve a god of peace and love?
Yes. Yes, Cass just literally said this.
Alright. A sort of middle-aged gnome peers around at you and says, of course. With a 15, you recognise the symbol, and it gets confirmed when Kess speaks to this gnome. They're serving a deity called the Willow Weaver, which I can type as soon as I get my hands in here.
Wait, Willow Weaver?
Yes.
Ah, you managed to actually type.
I did, I managed to type.
So Cass is talking to the gnome again. Right, so how do you feel about demons and demonic artifacts?
Are we talking,
Indy's just gonna step forward
You
now
know,
and go.
evil demons. I'm sure you know what demons are. Do you
Oh!
need to demonstrate?
Oh! And,
The request is to remove something demonic.
Yes, artifact. Very cursed. Understand it already.
Yes, I can see that. Right.
I'm sure if you pour holy water or whatever in it, it will work.
That is a strong maybe. Where on earth did you come across this? And he's like walking round the armour now, beckoning to others.
Are you saying that you are incompetent? I thought people here serve the competent god. I'm sure you can handle this.
Indy's just gonna be giving the biggest side eye at Kess right now.
Is your god not strong enough to handle this armor?
The gnome gives you a tiny bit of side eye. It is not so much a question of that, and more a question of how. Goes to tap you on the shoulder, Indy, and then sort of keeps his hand away. I trust you were not aware what this was when you put
First
it
threw
on.
it on? No. I was in need of good plate at the time, and I took a good set of plate.
Yes, very innocent motives you can see, so I'm sure you're able to help us. We were tricked into this. Terribly so.
Yes.
We are people in need of your help.
Yes, right. He's still sort of
What was
walking
your
around
god's
looking at it
do
all.
again?
Our deity is of nature.
Nature.
The
Oh,
wind
it's a
in the
bit useless.
trees, the flowers beneath our feet, the crops we grow.
Oh. Flower gods. I think we are in the right place then.
Yes. Do you partake in any worship yourselves?
Not of this religion, although I believe it would ring true to some of my people.
Yeah, I don't exactly worship nature. You see, the place where I come from doesn't have a lot of nature to be worshipped.
He sort of
Problem
awkwardly
is
smiles at you,
that,
Kess. Oh, where might you be from then? Not around here, obviously. You'll pardon me for noticing.
no, no, really. Have you heard of Trevis?
Yes, the country,
The
yes.
desolate place.
My father moved us over from there after the war. I don't remember much
Oh
of it
dear.
myself.
That's not very funny. I'm glad you didn't say it out loud.
For those of you who cannot see chat, in the chat, when Kess was asked, "So where are you from?" the response came back from chat: a crater on the edge of Trevis. But it's okay, because it was his birthday recently. So 1, he is forgiven, and 2, he has no idea what horrible things I'm going to do to him.
The thing is, this was not said out loud. If it was said out loud, there would be consequences.
There'd be a fight in this church right now. It would be horrendous.
Temple fight!
Oh no! Bingo is not here! We are not having a temple fight.
Well, it was Mog's fault the last time.
I blame Mug entirely. The gnome sort of folds his arms and looks. He's sort of, a few of his colleagues have come over and they're sort of peering at you as well. One of them sort of looked and sort of shrieked and ran away from the armour. Looks a very young training cleric. But he does fold his arms, he looks at you and says, "Right, and who is it that you worship, seeing as they have presumably been unable to remove this?"
I told you we'd
See,
find
I'm
good
not a cleric. My worship is of a different kind. One that you wouldn't quite understand. I have a different connection to the gods. A much more personal connection, you could say.
Right. I mean, I would describe my connection to the Willow Weaver as fairly deep and intimate. I have been a worshipper for most of my life.
So is your soul connected to your gods?
Of course, it will go to him once I have passed from this life. In what way is your soul connected to your deity? Indy is strongly considering a facepalm.
Okay. I think the question here is, can you help us remove that armor from my very much in need friend who was terribly troubled by horrible demons? And we are, people in need. Or are we going to talk about religion for the whole day? Because we could just go to a different temple then.
He's kept his arms folded at this point. It may help tremendously if we knew which deity has already tried to remove this, otherwise it would be fruitless to do the same thing, you understand? Indy,
Yep.
do you have a holy symbol that is out and obvious, or is yours sort of hidden beneath the armour at this point?
She's currently got it tucked, but underneath the armor, but also underneath the clothing in the.
Cool.
Noted. She wouldn't be carrying it out in the open, even as a
Noted.
general course of events.
Noted. So he is, he's digging. He wants to know who you worship. Cass in particular, but also Indy.
Indy's just going to smile and go, "I worship a much newer deity. But that's neither here nor there. as my friend here indicated, I'm not able to get this armor off manually. And trust me, I've tried.
All right. And he'll take out some paper and he'll start noting some things down. All right. What have you tried?
Well, first things first, just trying to fill the latches and pieces and trying to remove it. Quickly followed after that by a colleague of ours trying to rip it apart with telekinesis.
Oh, he visibly, shudders at that one. Oh, that! I hope you stopped promptly.
Once I started bleeding, yes, it became apparent that wasn't going to work.
I'm surprised it took you that long, but all right. Anything else?
Well, after that futile attempt, we decided that it may have been an option to come and try here.
All right. If you will pardon me a moment, I'm going to confer with my fellows. Please take a pew, literally. And as he points to there's a few rows at the back that have no families or kids or anyone on them that you can sit down on.
Indy's just going to nod.
All right.
I'll fly over as well.
All right. He takes his notes and he sort of nods, mumbles to himself, and he walks off back to the front of the temple and he goes and calls over a couple of other gnomes and they have a little conversation.
Indy's going to be watching it very carefully.
All right, do a perception check. Anyone else who wanted to say anything, you've got a couple of minutes before he heads back over.
I'd like to specifically take a closer look at the woodwork and the wood in the church to see if any of the magic is either familiar or usable in the nest.
Okay. There are quite a lot of wooden... It's like a statue of a tree made out of wood. There are some live trees in here as well. They've all got branches. So theoretically, you could take some of the either marble branches, some of the wooden branches, or some of the actual tree branches. They would all work for nests and things.
No, it's more the nest is the castle that Errol inherited.
Oh, the nest! In which case...
Yeah, that one.
In which case, you have also... Well, similarly again, you've got... Well, actually, yeah. No, you've got lots of marble and stone and wood in lots of ornate patterns. You've got loads of designs. And a lot of them, because they're in the shape of trees... they've got loads of little bits, so you could use some of them as potentially pillars, or you could put them all together and make walls. You could add it as decoration. You could have your own little tree sculpture. If you broke off some of the top branches, where all they've got is the little wooden leaves and stuff. So, other than that, you've got some candles, some brackets, some pews, a really long carpet going down the middle.
I'd like to take a little bit of the top of the woodwork so that I have a little bit of a tree sculpture for in my
All right,
house.
Do a stealth check.
Okay.
Unless you're just going to take it. Or are you going to try and do it without them noticing?
I'd like to sneakily do it.
Yeah.
Seeing as I rolled a 17, that's a 38.
Okay. Alright, so no one notices you as you sort of sneak up and grab. How much would you like to get? You could have pretty much any amount.
Just a little bit. Like, what you'd normally put on your desk as like a little plant or desk ornament. Like that size, but relative to pixies. So that would be about
Okay.
like an inch at most.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Yeah, they probably won't miss that if you take it from the top. I love that there's just a seagull wandering into a shop. That makes me so happy. Okay. So, as that is going on, Indy, you watch closely, and you see the three clerics mumbling to each other, and the one who's spoken to you earlier who points across at you, and the others look over. One of them narrows their eyes, one of them their eyes widens, and they sort of nod, and they all head back over to you. And once they're within about 10 feet, the gnome you've been speaking to, he nods to his friend, and his friend raises a hand and prepares to cast a spell towards all of you.
The second Indy sees that, she stands up. Does she recognize what kind of gestures he's making?
Yes, you do. He is trying to detect good and evil.
Would Cass recognize it as well, or?
I'm gonna say yeah. You've probably had it cast on you quite a few times in your life, Kess. So I'm gonna say the hand gesture is probably fairly known to you.
Yeah. So can we cast counterspell?
Yeah, because it's a good idea to make them believe their goddess's magic doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean
That's the way you get around it. You convince them that their deity is just not working.
Yeah.
It's on holiday. Well, I'm gonna be right back.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess using what's its name? Sleight of hand. Cass would like to try to cast counterspell without being noticed.
Okay, do a sleight of hand check.
Okay. Ooh, work. Oh shit. This is probably not that great. Well, I mean, counterspell will still be cast, but
Yep, just maybe not subtly.
Yeah, I think I basically let me check what I got, but I think I got like an 8.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, a 6.
Okay. Well, that got better. All right.
As soon as Indy sees Kess start to
She
cast
tried.
herself,
Yeah, she tried.
Indy's just going to teleport as far behind these clerics as possible and start pegging it towards the exit.
Yeah, so these gnomes are now on the offensive towards you guys. They attempted to cast Detect Good and Evil. Kess, they saw that you recognise the spell and cast against them, which has now made them believe that you are evil and out to trick them in some way. So they are now readying spells towards all of you. Indy.
Wait, hang on. I tuned out there. What the hell happened?
What?
Hello. Right, so to the two of you who weren't here, right, hello. So, in the 10 seconds or so that you were away, right, so the gnome went off to get his friend clerics. They came back. One of them raised their hand to cast Detect Good and Evil upon you guys so they could try and see what was going on. Kess and Indy recognised the spell that was about to be cast. Kess tried to very subtly counterspell. I think it ended up more along the lines of a toddler going, "You don't see me! You don't see me!"
So she cast a 6, yeah.
Yeah,
She had
so
a 6 on.
she cast counterspell, but they spotted her doing it, and instantly went on the defensive, believing that this because they saw that she recognised the spell and tried to counter it, meaning you must be hiding something, meaning you are probably evil and trying to trick them in the house of their god. So,
Can I
could that be a lair,
persuade them to? Can I try and persuade them to detect good or evil on me? Because I have got nothing to hide.
You can do, however, first, Indy teleported herself and has started running for the exit.
Oh, for God's sake.
So that was what you missed last time on Glee. So
I will offer to throw a fireball at her. I don't give a fuck.
Just to prove that you're good, you're gonna blow up their church.
Actually, yeah, good point. Tell you what, do I say? Ah, shit! No, I used my level 5 spell slot. I don't have telekinesis anymore. That could have.
that could have gone brilliantly well. You're going to resist them and then cast telekinesis on them.
No, that was on Indy, I assume.
I'm not. I'm gonna prove that because I am still. I may be chaotic, but I'm still good, and I'll prove that I am not evil by grabbing the spot who they think is evil and dragging them back.
But have you used your teleport spell?
Sorry, what?
Have you used your telekinesis spell though?
No, that's what I was complaining about.
Yeah, it's already gone. Yeah,
I've already used my level 5 spell slot, so I don't have telekinesis.
So I can only apologise because that would have been hilarious. All right, so basically,
wait. So while those things are happening, Cass also tries to convince them why she did the counter spell.
You can attempt it. If you both want to do a persuasion check, you will have disadvantage because they are currently all of them are raising their hands at you, and one of them is shouting, "Get out of our temple!"
Okay, so I think Cass would be like, "Look, this is a misunderstanding. You see, you didn't warn us before casting the spell, and you are not aware that we are under a curse, and it would terribly hurt us if we had any of these kind of spells cast at us. So, you should have asked before you cast whatever at us. So, I had to step in before you damaged all of us."
The Dragonborn's lying. I have no issue with you detecting good and evil on me. Go for it on me. I have nothing to fear.
Alright.
He's an idiot. He doesn't understand.
Cass,
I understand completely.
Cass, do me a deception check with disadvantage because they don't believe the shit you're saying anyway. And Belgarath, do a persuasion check with disadvantage because they don't believe you either.
What, they don't believe me when I say that the Dragonborn is lying? I thought they already
Well,
knew this.
no, they possibly believe that bit, but they sort of believe that you might be trying to use that to your advantage.
This is going so well. Can I just
wait? So hang on. It's persuasion, Rosie.
You're doing persuasion, yes, because you are telling the truth. Cass is doing deception because she is not.
Yeah.
Rosie?
Yes.
Can I take this moment while I'm still, up in the tree trying to get a piece for my house to just stay hidden from them?
Yeah, that is fine.
Do I roll stealth for that?
I'm gonna say you can do. You did have a very good stealth roll last time, so bloody hell, Belgrath, all right.
Oh damn!
All right, so Cass.
Well, I've got +10. I've got a +10 charisma modifier, don't I? So.
Oh good, yes. Oh man, yes. So see, Athel has her benefits. It's great. So Cass, they hold fire, but they are still aiming at you. And yep, running. Redhead is running.
Can I pixie dust her from my hidden up in the church?
Not from that far away because she is over 30 feet away and running. Belgarath.
I think Cass is you're clearly not as good people as you tout yourself to be, because you would have just helped people in need instead of being all sort of suspicious for no fucking reason. Idiots. Stupid scratchlings.
Totally evil.
That's pretty angry.
All right.
Says the Azimar, going, stupid squishlings.
Belgarath,
Yeah.
they believe you. You no longer have a gnome pointing their hands at you. Pretty much all three of them are now directing their spells at Kess. One of them has one hand towards the door, watching Indy sprint out of it. And the gnome who originally spoke to you just says, "We, in theory, have no quarrel."
Rosie, I lost you there at the start of the sentence.
Oh, sorry. He said, "In theory, we have no quarrel with you. Yet, please leave this holy place. Now. Immediately.
All right,
as
fair
fast as you can. Now, please. Thank you."
Okay, and I fly off.
Yep, I'm content as a
dive
cucumber with that.
towards them.
Why is Belgrath not the talker of the group? Or is that why is Cass not the talker of the group?
Yeah, this is clearly not
this
a
is
holy
about
place if you
that,
don't
actually.
help people in need.
The two doors slam shut behind you. Errol, are you going as well?
Yes. Yes, because I don't feel like getting stuck there while they're that upset.
I was like, well
Wait,
done,
hang on,
guys.
did
They believed
I
you.
thought they were only talking to me when they said leave this holy
No,
place.
no. They believed you. So they stopped pointing their spells at you, directed them all at Kess, and said, "Right, we have no quarrel with you guys. Please just leave. Get out. Get out.
Rosie,
get
I
out."
was full on pointing at Kess going, she is definitely evil. Just
Oh
have
yeah.
fun there.
But
Oh yeah. They was just saying, "Right, get out. But get out. You're clearly not worshipping our deity. Get out."
Oh
But-
god, these are some useless priests.
They're very, very caring. They're just like, we're not touching that. Nope.
right, so I think as soon as we are outside, Kess will have some problems with Belgarath and why the hell he was trying to double cross them.
As soon as
No,
the
not
door
trying to
is
double
shut
cross them,
behind
just
them
trying to
too-
double cross you.
As soon as the door is shut behind them too, Indy's going to be casting a 4th level spell.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So she's summoning a Guardian of Urfel doorsteps of that church.
Counter spell.
No, you don't know. You're not there yet.
Yes, he just ran out of that.
We all left together, Kess.
Except for Indy for that first.
She left
Oh.
first.
Shit, she left
Um,
Oh
first.
right, so she's gonna full on blow us to pieces.
Indy, what are you summoning?
I'll drop it in. Here we go. So that will be in the doorway as she leaves.
Okay.
So just after Indy.
Yep. So are you guys going to walk out? Are you going to jauntily saunter out? Are you going to run out when instructed to by these gnomes?
I'm gonna fly out, but like from the top, stealthily.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Ooh,
so. Kess is not afraid of it and not treating it as hostile, so I think she will just walk through.
That will be a question. So Indy, my question to
Yeah.
you would be, what creatures, player characters, or NPCs would you and your guardian consider to be hostile?
Currently, it would mainly be anyone that was in the church that was chasing. I'm
Okay.
presuming I probably have had to have rolled a perception check to actually notice that Belgrith was throwing Kess under the bus there.
You can do. You can
Technically,
do.
Belgarath was throwing everyone under the bus. So
No, the only one he was-
no, Indy as well. No,
no,
but
the
he
only
was
one
trying to pull
pointing
her
at-
back with telekinesis. No, he was trying to pull Indy back with
Nope,
telekinesis.
he didn't do that because he didn't have the spell.
Yeah, I didn't
did
actually do that. I said it would have been funny if I'd done that, but I didn't actually.
Yeah.
So the only one he actively threw under the bus in the stuff that happened was Kess.
Attempted to throw under the
Yeah.
bus. I didn't actually get to throw her under the bus.
So yeah, Indy, do a perception check to see if
Fair.
you noticed that as
So
you were running.
17 perception.
All right, yeah, you heard most of what was going on. You got the gist.
She considers it funny enough that she basically wouldn't have any of the party done.
All right, so none of the party are considered enemies. All right, so
Yeah,
basically,
she's downright tempted to have it like slap Cass, but
She was the one trying to help the most.
all right, so
If she helps any of you again.
the rest of the party comes scattering out of the temple, and you see this shadowy, hooded figure standing right in the center of the temple steps. It is holding a dark, shadowy shield, has its hood pulled down right over its face, and a glistening red sword.
Nope.
Cass, I think Cass recognizes you as a Cass recognizes it as a guardian of Erfel, so she has no fear of it and just walks by.
Cass, you would recognise, you've seen Urfel summon these before, and you would also recognise the symbol of Urfel that's burned into its chest. Like,
Yeah, so I think Cass would be happy to just walk past it with no fear.
all right, how about the pixie and the honest to a fault Belgrath?
I'd probably be going, what the fuck is that?
Pixie's also gonna go, yeah, no.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Cass is just
noping
storming
right out of
outside. Cass is angry and just storming outside, but happy to see a guardian of Erfel, but she's like, good riddance, deal with these people.
She got that mighty flanks going on.
She does. It doesn't listen to you, Cass, sadly. It stands there motionless.
Cass is not paying attention to that, she's just angry and leaving, stomping out.
Alright, one
She's
temple
leaving
down.
in a huff.
Cass is leaving in a
Yes.
huff. And as opposed to Indy, who just left. Alright, so you guys come out. Belgrath, I like to imagine, sort of skirting round the edge of the steps to avoid this shadowy creature. It now stands with its back to you all, just staring at the temple doors.
I'm just gonna hover around just to watch and see what it does next.
It stays standing and waits. The doors to the temple do not open.
Wait, what do the other priests do?
They asked you to leave and you left. They're not chasing you.
Yeah, but do they do anything about the guardian?
They haven't seen it.
Wait, isn't it
Yeah.
in the door? Like, in the church?
Did you want it in the doorway or just on this side
just
of the door?
literally outside it, so it's the first thing.
Alright. And it lasts for...
8 hours.
Okay. Are you going to stand there and watch for a little while, see what happens?
Nope, Indy.
I kind of am. I'm curious to see what comes of this.
Yeah.
Indy's gonna go somewhere and pray for guidance because she is absolutely done with the shenanigans.
Alright, Indy, go and do either a persuasion or a religion check, whichever one you would like. Everyone else, what are you doing while Indy just takes herself off to a private moment to do that?
I'm
Yeah,
actually gonna focus on the door as well. Gonna see what happens.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I cast the cantrip Umbral Hand to knock on the door.
Oh no! They did nothing to you. You stole from them, and now you're gonna scare them shitless.
See, the pixie is the worst one out of all of us.
Errol is the true evil behind this genius.
Yeah.
It's mischief. Errol loves mischief. He just doesn't
is
have
not
a moral
just
compass.
mischief.
That is just an excuse for horror!
Oh yes, very much. He just doesn't have a moral compass. It helps.
Oh, man.
He's going, it's a prank, bro.
Yeah, bro, can't get mad, bro. It's just a
wow,
prank,
so you
bro.
are literally the worst kind of person.
Yes, I never said that Errol is nice. I mean, to be fair.
Very true.
Yo, dude, prank. You are humans.
Yep. The first time I handed in the character sheet, it said chaotic evil. So.
Cass, are you gonna stand and watch this as well?
No, Cass is looking for Indy.
Okay. Alright, so, meanwhile, while Indy is praying for guidance, with a 22, alright, cool. I'll come back to that in a sec then. So, you guys wait. Magical knock at the door. Come in. Door's open. Why are they not just coming in today? This is madness. Hello? After
6 seconds pass since the first knock, and I knock again. But
This
like
is
more urgently.
Painful.
are you alright? And you see one of the doors creak open.
Oh, here we go.
One of the door swings completely shut. Like it opens a little bit and swings shut as you see the gnome fall backwards into the church. You hear shouting from inside, and then onto the steps of the church. I feel like I should change the music from lively marketplace to something slightly more spiritual ascension music. No, that's not going to cut it really, is it? Here we go. Right, so basically, you hear shouting coming from inside this temple, and suddenly the front doors are completely thrown open, and a large group of gnome clerics come charging forwards, staring at this great shadowy spectre before them, who I believe Indy will see them as enemies, yes? Oh, I've dropped. Give me a sec.
I mean, your
Spell I may want to be trying in a minute, so just give me 2
Hello, can you hear me again?
Yes. Yep.
Alright, sorry, my internet dropped out so much so that I thought that GIF was just a door. It never actually opened until just now.
Quick message that might have been lost in the static as well. Belgrath asked for a quick moment because he's looking at a spell that he may want
Yeah,
to
that's
cast
okay.
right now.
That's okay. So Indy, I just want to double check. When these gnome clerics fling open the doors, is the Guardian going to treat them as enemies? Yep. Alright, so
my spell, and it's going to be hilarious. So I may help the gnomes.
okay. So Belgrath, you've got a few seconds while these gnomes sort of rush out and look at this thing like, what do we do? Looking at each other like, shit. So you've got a second. So is there anything you want to do first, or are you going to watch and let them?
I'm sending you a message now.
Okay.
This feels like the perfect moment for an
The perfect moment for an uh-oh.
Yep.
Okay,
All
I've
right.
sent you the message.
Okay, you want to... Okay. Into what? And did you want to do this now, or did you want to wait? Okay. Okay. And did you want to do this now, or did you want to wait until they've
I'm gonna wait and see what the gnomes do. Basically, as soon as combat happens, I'm going to do that.
All right, noted. All right. Can you just roll me a quick initiative so I can see where you're placed?
Say again, sorry.
Can you just do me a quick initiative roll just so I can see where you're placed?
Yeah, no worries.
All right, cool. So these gnomes are right. There are 4 gnomes. Okay, on the temple steps. 1 shadowy figure. I'm just drawing this out for myself so I know what's occurring, and it literally just looks like the Grim Reaper. That's accurate, I suppose. Okay, so name 1, name 2, name 3, name 4. Alright. So 15. Okay, Belgrath, technically. Technically Belgrath, that means you go first. Indy.
Yep.
Could you do an initiative for the Guardian?
Yep. Did you want just the straight roll, or did you want me to add my dex to it as well?
Yeah, add your dex to it.
So that will be an 18.
Alright, cool. Alright, so what would you like your Guardian to do first? You got four cleric gnomes in front of you.
So it's only when they walk within 10 foot of it, they have to do Constitution saves. So it's not
Okay.
going to move from that spot.
Okay.
So are any of them within 10 foot?
Let's have a look. 2 of them are, yes.
Yeah, so they'll need to do Constitution saves.
Okay. Alright, that's a 4 and a 19.
Yeah, so I think the 9 passed, the other one didn't.
Okay.
So the one that passed takes 10 damage and the other 20 damage.
Ooh, bloody hell. Alright.
Yep.
Minus 10, minus 20. Alrighty, noted. So it won't attack. They'll have to come to him, right?
Yep.
Him. I'm gonna say him for the sake of argument.
It looks probably very much
Did you
like
just
a
assume the infernal guardian?
Whatever Urfel wants it to be is what it is.
Cross is what I think it'll be. Alright. So, they are going to be moving in towards it, and they're going to start trying to cast various spells to do with things such as daylight, holiness, a bit like a spell for holy water. Like they're doing a the word has escaped me. They do it all the time on Supernatural.
Exorcism?
That's the word! Thank you for that! Well done! The one word that's escaped my brain. Yeah, so it's like they're doing an exorcism. And they're moving towards it. But when they notice the damage the other 2 take, and they sort of take a step back, best gift ever. Yeah, they sort of edge around in this sort of circle, sensing how far away they can be. And as they're doing that, Belgraff, did you want to do anything, or are you going to watch this first round first? Also, that's the best gift I've ever seen.
I think now that the Guardian has attacked, I'm going to do the thing. So
okay, you can tell the group.
The Guardian needs. Well, the Guardian needs to take a Wisdom.
Rightio. I don't know if it actually has, so let me check.
If not, then I'll potentially let you use yours, because it is summoned via you, so...
Yeah, it doesn't specify, so I'll use mine.
Alright, cool.
Oh boy, that would be in that 20.
Ooh.
Ah, nuts.
And plus the 8 that is the cleric's wisdom.
It's okay. You can try again. It'll be great.
So, is that you talking to me?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm going to expend 2 of my sorcery points to make that first one a quicken spell.
Okay.
So basically turns it into a bonus action so I can have another go.
Cool. Go for it.
So, yeah, another wisdom check.
Yep. Put that one down as a 5.
In total?
Let me just add. So that would be a 13 in total.
Okay, note that one doesn't beat. So now I get to tell you what I've done. I just cast Polymorph on the Guardian. And for the next hour, it is no longer a infernal horror wielding a flaming sword. It is now an adorable little bunny rabbit.
Wearing
Can-
a
can
big
you
black
actually-
coat, like a big black cape, and a
Can you
big
actually cast
sword.
that on a spectral thing? Or is it just for corporeal things?
Well, I am going to say that because this is essentially like a spiritual guardian, it technically has no real form. So I'm going to argue that you can
Yeah.
cast it and change its appearance. You may not
But it
change
will
any of
still be
its
a guardian.
power,
It doesn't
but it could still,
just
yeah.
having a look in the spell thing, it doesn't specify that the target has to be corporeal or not. It just says a creature within.
Also, best gif ever. So yeah, you now have a murder hobo bunny before you. Does the spell end if it takes damage?
It only states that it ends if it's over 8 hours after it's been cast, or if it's dished out up to 200 damage. I think it is.
Alright. So, you could have
Sorry,
just,
I missed what.
you could have
I
just
missed
left it there
everything
forever.
that was just said. Sorry.
I'm just checking that you can, and yes, it is now an adorable bunny rabbit. Wearing a big black cloak and holding a really tiny shield and a really tiny sword, but it's still not moving. Like, this bunny isn't even breathing; it's just stood there. And the gnomes look completely surprised for a moment. Did you do this sneakily, Belgrath, or would they be able to know it was you?
Yes, I was pretty sneaky about it. I basically just went poof, and it was done.
Okay.
I mean, after the second attempt.
Well, yeah,
do-
but to actually sneak it, you would have to do sleight of hand or something.
Do a sleight of hand check to see if they notice you doing the spell or not. Although, to be fair, it will be quite a low one because they are very distracted right now fighting this crazy creature.
Yeah, fair enough.
I got a 15 on sleight of hand.
Okay, yeah. Alright, so they don't notice who did this, but they are now even more confused. One of the gnomes actually shouts, "It's trying to trick us! Do not fall for its lies! No!
Oh, sweet God.
No, Curtis, no! I know it's adorable, but don't go near it!"
It's just getting worse and worse.
Best gift ever. They move forwards. One of them conjures their spiritual weapon and takes a swipe. It's like a sort of like a mining pickaxe that they use, and it sort of like swipes and just goes straight through this bunny rabbit's form, but causes no damage. And the bunny rabbit just stays there, like a sort of like swiping a ghost. Black magic gets shouted by another one, and the other one's gonna attempt to use command, and he's going to point, and he's going to attempt to make it leave, and he's just going to say "flee," and Cloak billows, and all the powers of his deity seem to be behind him as he points at this little bunny rabbit and says, "Flee!" The bunny rabbit doesn't move because command will take no effect whatsoever on this guardian. So they're sort of looking to each other now, and the other two just sort of continue with attempting this exorcism thing. And they're just sort of looking to each other like, what do we do? One of them calls back inside through the doors and calls for the head of their church, who you can see like gnome families inside who are like screaming and sheltering their children and like staying inside. One of them goes to go and get the high priest guy, who sort of steps out, and he's gonna look at this and see what he thinks. Okay. So he's gonna look at this and go, enough, and just shake his head, and he looks at the damage caused to the two of them who got hit in the first place and says, what? They briefly explain that it used to look like this terrible spectral form, and now it's been turned into a bunny, and they're not sure how and what's going on. And they explain about the people who just ran out of their church and the cursed armour, and they think they have something to do with this. And at the description, he understands what this creature is, and he says, right, well, we must leave it. And the rest of them sort of look around and go, what? But Your Honour, no, it hurts. It hurts people. Yes, but that's all it can do. Look at it. It's going to stay there. So let's all just ferry everyone out of the back door for now and keep an eye on it, and by the end of the day it'll be gone. And he sort of shakes his head and rubs his eyes and wanders back inside the church again. And two of them volunteer to take a shift, and they just sit there outside the church staring at this bunny rabbit. And anyone who tries to come up to the temple for the rest of the day to sort of be like, hi, can we just... No! Use the back door. Don't touch the bunny! And you can see like some kid gnomes wandering away like, oh, touch the bunny. No! Do not touch the bunny rabbit. Go round the back. And so we'll continue the rest of their day. Belgrath, how long will your spell last?
The polymorph lasts for 1 hour.
Alright, so at the end of the hour they will get their terrifying creature back again. But then, yeah, they're going to stay and just keep an eye on it for the rest of the day.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I'm not going to do anything else for them. I basically gift wrapped them a
bunny rabbit.
A kill. So it's, you know, I can only do so much for them. You know, you can bring a horse to water, but it's kind of got to do the drinking it. So I'm kind of just going to throw my hands up in disgust and leave.
All right. You did notice they did attempt to murder this bunny, but nothing they were doing seemed to be damaging the bunny. Sadly. So Indy, you are praying for guidance.
Yep.
I assume to Urfel, and what are you asking?
Indy's gonna ask directly. It's like, will
Aw.
keeping this armor serve your purpose, or should I dispose of it?
There's a moment or two that passes, and then you hear a voice that you've heard a few times, and it says, what does it do exactly?
So far, all it's done is caused me harm. And according to the Dragonborn, it will slowly transform me into a demon. Not that that told me whether I would keep my will or not.
It might be useful to have a demon on my side, and I could keep you chained to keep you in line.
If it will serve your purpose, then
It may do.
I would hope that my mind would serve you even more.
What is it you think your mind can give me?
The ability to guide this group. They're quite the motley crew.
They are indeed. Have they accomplished what I asked you to do?
They have acquired what they believe to be the item, and we are seeking passage free of where we are now. Although it seems that due to a wedding, everything has been stopped in and out until at least that has passed.
If it were physically possible to hear someone rolling their eyes, that's what you would hear right now.
Indy just shrugs and goes, I'm fully...
I have not the strength or the will to teleport you myself. So do hurry. And should you transform before you get back here and in any way cause any harm to that item, you may well be rewarded.
So that was if she transformed and caused harm to the item.
Mm-hmm.
If you wish the item destroyed, I can make every attempt.
I encourage this, if it truly is the item.
I'll see it done.
Remind them they shall be richly rewarded upon their return to Drevis.
I will let them know. The warlock seems to be quite enamored with her reward.
Good. I do hope they will all feel the same. Is there anything else?
Nothing more.
Good. Well, get on then. We have an army amassing here.
Well, if these gnomes are anything to go by, the world is woefully unprepared.
Exactly.
And with that, she'll break her connection to Urfel and then turn to go and try and find the others.
Alright. You find them, I assume, somewhere near this temple.
I'm presuming the others are still watching the shenanigans when...
Mm-hmm.
No, Cass was actually looking.
Yeah,
for
Cass,
Indy.
Cass, you find she's like just a bit further down the street than you, sort of waiting for you.
Okay. So she'll be going up to Indy and saying, "Do you see what Balgarath did? He completely betrayed all of us, and you as well. I can't believe that. I don't think we can trust him after this. I don't think he truly served the purpose of Ilfrel.
Well,
Those
then...
stupid gnomes."
Well, yes, the gnomes are woefully unprepared for what Urfel planned. But that said, we have received some new orders. That item...
What are the orders from Ilfrel?
That item we were sent together? Destroy it. Any way you can.
The shard.
Yes.
Are you sure about this?
From
I
Urfel's... From
thought we
Urfel's...
were meant to bring it back to her.
Well, if it can be destroyed before it gets to her, all the better. Saves her trying to destroy it herself.
Well, we'll look into it, but it sounds like it won't be easy to destroy.
Well then, that is what everyone's reward hinges on.
So if you talk to her, did she say anything about your armor?
She said that it will serve her purpose either way.
See, this is exactly what I told you, wasn't it? I know her well.
You may believe so. But I believe I've served Urfel much longer than you.
You see, we just have different kinds of connections to her.
Well, one of them is gathering an army, and you, on the other hand...
I have her book. Can you read her book?
I don't second guess what Urfel does with her gifts. I don't believe you should either.
I think you should trust me a little bit more. We are all on the same side here. The two of us. But it seems like the rest of them, especially Balgareth, I think we have to handle him.
Well, I believe he will come round based on his reward. After all, it is a very simple task to destroy that, apparently. I'm certain that he would find a way.
I'm not sure that I trust him.
I'm certain you can be convincing.
Look, I worry that he will sabotage our plans and work against our goddess. The way he reacted in the temple as well.
Self-preservation, I've seen that plenty of times.
Oh no, it wasn't just that. He was shifting blame instead of trying to salvage the situation. I don't really consider him an ally at this stage, not anymore.
But you are going to have to work with him. He's been chosen by Urfel as well as...
Still think he is a spy, or at least plans to betray us.
Well, isn't that something we can just all have a lovely chat about?
As if he would admit to it. Not unless we interrogate him. Yes, indeed, we can have a lovely chat if you agree.
I think it's about time we all had a talk.
Why not? Why not? But before that, have the talk. I will just have a little read in my book.
See if there's any mention of these shards and how to destroy them.
Yes, I will. I will.
And in the meantime, why was it that you and your party didn't mention that it was these shards you were in the place?
Sorry, I think you cut out.
Why is it that you and your party didn't mention it was these particular shards you were after in the first place?
Were you not there when?
No, I joined you much later. I believe roughly around the time that your friend, what was his name? Needles died?
Sorry, could I have a be right back? I just need to talk to my mom.
Oh, good.
I'll be back in a moment.
Cool. Meanwhile, Belgarath and Errol outside of the temple. Any crazy hijinks you two would like to do?
Not to. I haven't thought of.
I can think of something.
Uh-oh. I mean, go
like-
on.
I'd like to pull a card.
Oh, no. Alright.
Was that a no?
No, that's fine. I should have realised the pixie's been left on his own. Alright, so roll me a you've only got 3 left.
Wait, 3 left? Are these the birthday cards or the deck?
Oh, which ones do you want to draw?
Do I still have birthday cards left? Because I used 2 of them in this campaign and 2 of them in the other campaign. I have 1
Oh
left, I
wait,
think.
you've got 1 left, so you can draw the 1 you have left.
Yes.
Or you can draw 1 from the normal deck.
I'm pulling the last birthday card.
Okay. Okay. Errol, a sudden desire comes over you. It fills your heart and your mind, and you can think of almost nothing else. With every fibre of your being, you long for it, you need it. You cannot help but think and focus all of your attention upon it. You look across to Belgarath. You look into those beautiful eyes and you think to yourself, dear
Oh no.
God, I really want a pet rock.
Well, that took a turn.
Oh, a pet rock.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cheat on Dwayne. My pet rock.
You are.
You want a
You
pet
are.
rock?
You
gotta
want.
get a pet rock.
You want.
Yes. Where can I find a pet rock?
Now, technically, you used to already have one, but I believe you put it away.
Oh yeah, I left it at the nest.
Yeah. So you are remembering your beautiful pet rock, and you are suddenly desperately driven. You need another pet rock. The bigger, the better. Like, you need a pet rock.
Belgarath, do you know where I can find a pet rock?
Pet rock? What?
I want a pet rock.
I don't know. Go outside the town. There's probably hundreds of them.
That's a good idea. And I just instantly dash off.
Belgarath, can you do me an Arcana check?
Two seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and so sad, Glyn.
9 Arcana.
Aww. Sorry, I just saw that. It was very sad. Okay, Belgarath, you're not sure what has happened to your pixie friend, but he appears to suddenly have some sort of strange impulse that you have not seen. Oh, sorry, in her. That you have not seen in her before. You have a distinct inkling it may be something magical. Did you pull the card outright, or was it sneaky?
No, just outright.
All right, you're 100% sure it has something to do with that card, but you couldn't quite see what it did.
Ooh, I want that pet rock. Yes, it is much appreciated, Glenn.
So yeah, Belgraph, did you want to chase after the pixie who has a madness in his eyes? Her eyes, sorry.
Nah, I'm good. She can
Alrighty.
go and do whatever she likes.
Alrighty. So, so Belgraph, what would you like to do in the meantime? Oh, you still have Caspian, by the way. He's still perched on your shoulder.
I guess I'll ask Caspian if there's anything he wants to do.
I'd quite like to see what they're doing. And he points.
Who?
And there's a big group of gnomes like shouting and getting really excited on the like side of this giant lake.
On what, sorry?
At the side of the lake.
You want to go have a look? We can go have a look.
Okay, cool. Okay, Errol goes rock hunting. Errol, where would you like to go and what sort of rock would you like to look for?
The most badass rock.
Okay, are we talking huge?
Well, you specified the bigger the better, so at least pretty big. Big.
Okay, so eventually, after a little while, you see a huge series of rocks. Do a investigation check to see which one of them may be the biggest that you could potentially dislodge. Hello, dog. Hello. My dog is now upside down and wagging his tail, just so everyone's aware.
Aww. That's a nat one.
Okay. You like that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
Sorry, I'm back.
Hi!
I'm suggesting the boulder.
Okay. I guess was just reading her book or something.
Yeah, that's
I don't
fine.
remember where we left off.
You had a look through your book. It doesn't mention the shards. Did we both just put the same gif? Alright, gif jinxed. Alright, Kez and Indy, I'll come back to your conversation in a second. Ariel, you're gonna pixie dust the boulder.
Yes.
Alright, it takes a little while, but you manage to dislodge it from the bottom of a huge pile of rock and stone. It's sort of been nicely arranged to make up part of the archway that leads out of some of these caverns, but you take it. This boulder is as big as, well, as big as a donkey. It's almost perfectly round, where it's been worn away by sort of like water and erosion over the years. It's almost a perfectly round boulder that you now have floating beside you.
I have a boulder. I have a boulder.
See, and Cassie's dinosaur has been gone for a while. She's missing you.
That's true. The dinosaur is roaming Trevice at the moment, I think. Terrifying the last remaining remnants of people living in Trevice. Alright. Belgrath.
Hey guys. I think
Yes?
this new pet of Errol's is the bravest one yet. You know why?
Why?
Because he's bolder than the rest.
Oh, God, why did I not see that one coming? Oh my God, that was so terrible, but I loved it. So, Belgrath, you and Caspian head off over to the edge of this lake and you see a giant clamoring of gnomes who are all jumping to look at something. I name him Rocky. Excellent. However, you're taller and Caspian is on your shoulder, so you can see very quickly. This is a group and they're very excited because finally, the catapult is ready and open for business. You watch as one excited gnome takes his place inside this like giant spoon thing in a basket attached to a big piece of elastic, gets hoisted back, and you can see that there are some other gnomes on the other side of the lake who are taking their places in a big crowd cheering. And you can hear one gnome shouting, "It's just a warm-up! It's just everyone gets one practice go before you get the vote." And you see this gnome sort of strap in. He looks ready for it. He's brought his own, like, swimming goggles, and he claps them onto his face, and he's like, "Ready!" He looks like a really grizzled old man, and this is the most exciting thing he's done in a while. And he holds onto the sides of the basket. "Let me go!" And you see 3 gnomes heave back on the elastic. And yes, just like the GIF, they go 3, 2, 1. The crowd cheer and roar, and they release the elastic. Twang! And this basket and spoon just goes poof, and it fires out the grizzled old gnome in the goggles. And he goes across halfway over the lake, and he does a sort of pirouette mid-air and lands with a splash in the lake. There is like this boat with a few other gnomes circling the lake, and it goes to pick him up and helps him to shore. A lot of the gnomes are sort of clapping and cheering, and a lot of them are going, "My turn, my turn, my turn!" You can see parents like holding back their children, like, no, not till you're older, no. So yeah, this is what's going on now. They're doing they're doing the catapult.
Nice.
Well, that's certainly a good way of potentially killing yourself.
Wait, what was... Oh, you will come back later to the book. Sorry. So
Yeah. I'll come back to you two now, because now Balgarth has seen what they are doing.
Okay.
So, you had a look through the book. You can't find any mention of these shards at all. Although, do me an intelligence check, Kess.
Oh, intelligence check. That probably won't go very well. It's okay, it's 11.
Okay. You read a little bit that has been mostly handwritten, and it's about the fall of Urfel. And it writes about how she was destroyed almost completely, and they tried to make everyone forget, but they will never forget, never. And it does mention something about her and the item used to destroy her being scattered into remnants, but nothing more concrete than that.
So it mentions an item that was scattered, or sorry?
It mentions that the item that was used to destroy Urfel was scattered and destroyed, as was her herself.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Anything else you two would like to talk about?
I guess I would be examining the shard then.
Cool. Indy, do you let her look?
Oh
no, wait, you have it.
The shard is with Cass.
You have it. I was
Yeah,
going to say, sorry, my Theritas was coming out. You don't have them in this campaign.
Nope.
Yeah, Cass, you bring it out, you have a look. It is, it's pretty foul to look at. It's like a thick shard of glass. It sort of glistens, and if you really pay attention, it sort of it almost tastes. It tastes like how you imagine Ariel would taste, glittery, a vague waft of like cotton candy or something. If you really focus on it, it makes you sort of recoil on instinct, sort of like this is very, it's a very good, something good made this. It's very good.
Okay, so it seems like a holy item or something.
It's either a holy item or it was made by a holy creature.
Okay. So we just need to corrupt it, right?
And how do you propose to corrupt it?
Right. Let me have a look in my bags and see if I have anything suitable. So I just... These goggles probably won't help. Well, I have the chain from Urfel. Still not sure what it actually does. Do you have a chain as well, Indy?
And what chain are you talking about?
So Cass would show her chain to Indy.
I am
Does it-
presuming that Indy
does it
doesn't have anything like it.
Do you want to
Rosie?
describe it, Cass?
I mean, in my character, this has been a while ago, and in my character sheet, it says she has a chain given to her by her first servant, Jalan. I'm sorry, but that's the description I have.
That's alright. Basically, Indy, you're looking at ooh, Indy.
Yep.
Do a intelligence check. Yeah, it's basically a necklace chain.
Has she ever seen anything like it?
With a 2, probably not.
Indy, this chain, you haven't seen it before. It does not remind you in any way of Urfel, but it does remind you of something else, but you can't quite put your finger on it.
Oh, clearly you're not a true follower if you don't even have the chain.
I believe a true follower of the Church of Urfel carries her symbol.
This is also her symbol. You're just not initiated enough to know that. Clearly. Do I have to roll persuasion on it or persuade myself?
That's a good perception, right?
No, I think Cass probably believes this.
Oh yeah, Cass will believe it. Hi, Troy.
Should I roll anything on it?
Indy, what do you think? What are you thinking when she says this?
Indy's just shaking her head of thinking that Kiss is just plain deluded.
At this point, the two of you hear an almighty cheer erupt from somewhere further down the street. And looking up, you notice that both Indy and Ariel, Belgrath and Ariel have disappeared. And you see a large group of gnomes, including Belgrath and Caspian, gathered on the edge of a lake opposite you, and you cannot see Ariel.
Indy's just gonna gesture towards Belgrath and go, well, there's no time like the present to go have your chat with Belgrath.
Indeed. So are you going to support me in this, Indy? Are we together for Urfel and against someone who is against Urfel, it seems?
I'll do what Urfel tells me, nothing else.
Have you asked Urfel on Belgrath?
I believe the last thing Urfel told me about your group was to remind you all that you have rewards coming, should that item be destroyed.
Right. Right.
After you.
So Belgarath is just on his own then?
Yeah, well, he's got Caspian with him and he's stood around a bunch of gnomes, but you cannot see Ariel, so as far as you're aware, he's alone in terms of party members. Arissa and Enna have gone off to get more wedding supplies and talk to her brother.
Okay, I guess we'll be approaching him then.
Alright. Belgrath, two perfectly innocent and non-terrifying looking people walk up to you.
Two
Sorry,
people
what?
who do you know?
Yeah,
So,
they come up to you, Belgrath.
yeah,
right,
Cass
I
and
see.
Indy are walking up to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, Belgarath. I thought we should discuss what happened in that temple a little bit.
Okay, fire away.
I was less than impressed with how uncooperative you were with people you should be supporting.
What, you mean the clerics? I thought I was supporting them perfectly well.
Why would you support the clerics when you should be
Why
on
would I
our
not?
side? Are you against us then?
Haven't decided.
Because, you know, if you're not with us, then you're against us. And we don't want anyone to be against
Not
our
necessarily.
family. No.
If I'm not with
Well-
you, I could just be here.
No. There are certainly groups. There are groups who are with Urfel and who are against Urfel.
And
you
there
want
are
to get
groups
your
who are
reward?
indifferent to her.
Then you shouldn't be in the group that's working for Urfel, should you?
Probably not, no.
So are you her supporter? Are you looking forward to your reward? What do you stand
Nope,
for, Belgarath?
You know, that's a very good question, and it's one that I've been trying to answer for quite a while. For the past few years, my entire aim in life was to track down my father and murderize him, and now that I've done that, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing anymore. So I kind of just tagged along with this because it seemed interesting, and it has been so far.
Right, then
But if you're
why would you... Yes. Go on.
But if you're asking, am I here because I am wholeheartedly dedicated and support your weird infernal god, then no, that's not why I'm here at all. I'm here solely because I found it interesting and I was bored.
Indy's just going to be smirking.
You see, we should be working here together. Even if you don't support Urfel as per se someone who believes in her, you should be supporting her for your reward. Is that reward not that important to you, Barbara?
No, why would it be?
So you have no motivation to be on our side. You could betray us any moment, like you did in that church.
Yeah, I suppose I could.
Then I don't think you have a place with us.
No, probably not. I'm going to carry on tagging along though.
Indy's just going to smile and go, please do, at least for the entertainment.
I refuse to work with him.
Well, you haven't
don't.
been working with me so far, so I don't see what the big problem is. It's not like anything's going to...
No, the problem is that you betrayed us in that church.
No, I betrayed you.
I am on Urfel's side.
Well, that's good for you, but I'm not.
This party is supporting Urfel. If
Good for
you
you.
don't support us, then you're against us.
Indy's just
Nope,
going to sort
I'm
of
just
look.
tagging along.
Indy's going to look between Kess and between Belgarath, and then back again, and then look at Belgarath and goes, have you explained to her the concept of a mercenary?
I thought Dragonborns knew... Well, I thought Dragonborn knew what mercenary were. Because, don't a lot of them serve as mercenaries in quite a few... You must have seen them. They're big, they're tough, they're scaly, they're very good fighters, so quite a few of them make a living as soldiers.
Look,
You probably know.
if you're a mercenary, then you
I never
don't
said I was a
throw-
mercenary, I was just explaining the concept.
We are on a
Indy
very
threw you a
important-
bone, man. She threw you a bone.
We are on a very important mission, and we can't have liabilities like you. So if you betray us, then I cannot accept working with you.
Okay, I will continue to not work with you then.
I'm going to say
Like
by
I
this
say, I
point,
don't see
Ariel,
what the
you
deal
have
is.
fluttered back over. You can now hear all of this, but carry on, please. Please do.
I shall be.
Like I
checking
said, I
on
don't know what the big issue here is. I thought I'd been very clear from the get-go here that I am not a supporter of Urfel. I am not in any way dedicated to your cause. I'm here solely for the entertainment.
You have mentioned that a few times.
Exactly. So I'm honestly confused as to why you are suddenly shocked when it turns out that I am not a dedicated of Urfel and am in no way working towards your goal.
Look, you tried to get me into trouble
Yeah, you
on
deserve it.
purpose.
Yes. Yeah, it was funny.
A tiny voice pops up from above you guys. It really was funny.
Indy's going to look up at the pixie and go, and where have you been?
I found a pet rock. Here, it's Rocky. And behind me floats this giant boulder with a face on it, like a small.
Well, you know what? I have no reason to be working with you idiots. I can do this on my own. And Cat
What?
walks off.
Are you sure? We've got a giant boulder now. That's got to be, a bonus in the FL column.
Yes. I think Cass is ignoring you.
In that case, I'm gonna think about Rocky. He can help.
Oh, come on, Cass, don't be so stony.
Too bad she's stone cold now.
Okay, on this beautiful note, I will end the session on that facepalm
Don't admire
gif.
Cass, she's a real brick.
What I will say is that Kess, as you start to turn a corner and disappear completely away from your friends.
Oh, and change shape as well.
What are you
so
changing
change
into?
shape as well. So there are. I can't change into a gnome because I'm too big.
Yes.
But
Sorry.
So are humans normal around there?
Well, it's mostly gnomes, but you know that Arissa's family are human.
Okay, I turn into a human then.
Okay.
Nondescript human.
Okay. And turns into a human. Okay, Kess. As the rest of you hear another whee splash, and you see more gnomes attempting to do the this one dive of delicacy into the lake. Kess, you turn a corner, and you hear a voice from sort of like a doorway off to your left. And where are you going, Kess?
Do I recognize the voice?
You do.
Whose voice is it?
It is the servant of Urfel himself. It is Sajalin,
Ah, it's Sajalin.
who is leaning against the doorway with his arms folded and one foot up against the door, looking at you with one eyebrow raised. And that is where I shall leave you, because you guys will not be here next week, which means that your conversation will happen in the next one, and the rest of them can throw gnomes into a lake, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably
We'll have to find out what happens. So yeah, I will leave you guys there. Right, I'm going to turn off the recording. And so, if everyone who had a lovely time, everyone who had a medium time, and everyone who had a time would like to shout Tatty Bear to the recording, I will turn it off. So, Tatty Bear,
I had a
thank you for
great
listening.
time. It
Tatty
rocked.
Bear.